What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Miami. We'll go ahead and get started here in a few minutes. But we're currently standing outside the Aston Martin residences, overlooking the beautiful Brickell Key and Brickell. It was a magnificent day in Miami. This is the new expanded Riverwalk. Now they just had these insane lights on. Maybe they'll turn them back on, but it was incredible. The lights that they had on top of Aston Martin. But hope all of you are well. We'll get started in a moment. Ooh, it looks like the Brickell Bridge is going up. Maybe we'll have some crazy super yacht coming through. Here's a smaller boat coming through, but still cool to look at them. All right, everyone, I think we can go ahead and get started. What do you guys think? Should we get started? Well, good evening all, and welcome back to Walks and Wall Street. And I'd like to welcome all of the viewers back to Miami. We are in the 305 once again. So welcome back to all of the viewers, and a warm welcome to all of our new viewers. If you are just recently subscribed to the channel, I'd like to just quickly give just a brief overview, because we do have a lot of new people here. We do these broadcasts live between New York City and Miami. We usually spend about 3 weeks in New York City, maybe about 1 week in Miami. We do walking tours of these two beautiful cities, and we talk about the financial markets, we talk about real estate, and many other topics. Now, Monday through Friday, we cover the major events that are happening day by day on Wall Street. Saturday is kind of our day off, where we explore different neighborhoods. We're kind of light on the financial talk. And Sundays are our Markets Outlook live stream, where we take it day by day and give a little bit of a preface of what is going to be happening throughout the week ahead on Wall Street. So thank you to all of our old viewers. Welcome to all of our new viewers. And I think we'll go ahead and get started here. Today is Tuesday, July 2nd, 2024. We're currently standing right on the brand new marina here outside the Aston Martin residences, which is fully complete and almost ready for occupancy. Now, this building is a complete sellout. I think it's sold out 100% of all the units. You can see it right here, this beautiful, beautiful building. Oh my God, they finally turned back on the lights. Now, on top, we have to walk over the bridge, because seeing it as you walk over the bridge, there are these two extremely powerful lights that they beam from the top, and it looks so futuristic from afar. And sometimes they turn them on, they turn them off, but I've never seen it before. This is the first time I'm seeing it. It kind of looks like an alien spaceship calling outer space. It's pretty cool. Anyway, today was a pretty big day in the markets. I'm not sure if you guys remember, but over the last month or so, we've been kind of calling this bottom on Tesla stock. Now, we usually don't call bottoms. I'm usually not a bottom fisher, but I think this is a very unique circumstance that we've been talking about, and it looks as if our thesis is proving to be correct. Tesla up 10% on the day today, again, breaking back above that 200-day moving average. There's a lot of nice price action happening in the market right now with some of these, I should say, more beaten down names. We're probably going to have a sector rotation out of some of the TMLs, if you will, into new leadership. So we'll talk about that tonight. But let's go ahead and say hello to everybody in the chat. Tina, what's going on? Thanks for joining us. I see Janice S. DC322. What's going on? Welcome back to Miami, I should say. Trust you've had a good Tuesday. Ren 1018, Mary, Troy Atman says, Tom, missed you. I know it was only one night. Yeah, even though it's only one night, it kind of does feel like it's been an eternity. It's true. But we are back. We are back. Good to see you. And I did get the lizard out of the room for the tenant, by the way. Larry Adams is here. Mark T. What's up? Welcome back to Florida with the beautiful palm trees. Diana is here. Doc 7. Ren 1018 says, Tom, I asked at work about the transfer to Miami. They said okay, but we'll have to take a big pay cut to reflect Florida wages. Interesting. How big is the pay cut, if you don't mind me asking? If you want, send me an email. I'm not sure if you already did, but I'd be curious to see what the proposed pay cut is, because if you look at the rents or the rent growth in Miami, it's growing faster than New York, and it's pretty much as expensive as Manhattan now. So it's interesting, quite interesting. Maybe there's some negotiation you could do there. This is the main lobby at the Aston Martin residences. I love how they have this kind of, I wouldn't say infinity pool, it's more like a little fountain that wraps around the duration of the Aston Martin residences, right to the valet. A collector's dreams is no state tax in Florida. That's true. That is true. Which really does help as you move up the ranks in your career, for example. If you work in finance, if you're an analyst, probably not the best trade to take a pay cut to come to Miami or the state of Florida. But let's say if you're a managing director or a VP or really high up at an investment bank or private equity, well, you're going to be making high six figures, probably $600,000 to $1 million if you're making managing director. And that really makes a difference if you don't have to pay any state income tax, because, let's say if you work at a major bank, in New York City and you live in Manhattan, not only do you have to pay New York State income tax, but you also have to pay the city, which is an extra point. Anyway, guys, this is Brickell Key that we're looking at. Earlier today, I filmed a walking tour, which I'm going to be posting on the channel a little bit later. But it's not your ordinary walking tour. We did an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at the development site of the brand new Mandarin Oriental residences. It's going to be 850-foot tall building. The current Mandarin Oriental hotel that's on Brickell Key right now, that was built in the year 2000, is going to be totally torn down upon completion of the brand new Mandarin Oriental. And I think you guys are going to enjoy it. It's a very, very cool project. I'm excited about it. And it should break ground, I think, in 2025, so next year. And it's slated for completion in 2029. So it's a long ways away, but we're going to be able to see the Miami skyline expand and grow live, which is pretty cool. Now, additionally, another building that we're all pretty excited about, and we always talk about, is the Waldorf Astoria Residences. That is now officially broken ground. They've laid the concrete, they did this special soil mixing, and we're gonna be able to watch that building go up live from downtown Miami, which, by the way, will be the tallest residential skyscraper south of the World Trade Center. It's gonna be over 1,000 feet tall. Should be pretty cool. Here's a quick peek inside the lobby. I should say the second lobby. Creatives here, what's up? Ethan G says, I wish I was in Miami too. Too bad I can't travel due to personal issues. Well, hopefully you get that sorted out, and we'd love to see you in Miami. I think you'd love this city. Although it is a bit humid. I do like the humidity, but this is like peak Florida humidity. In the summer, it was about 90 degrees today, probably with over 65% humidity. So it was a hot one, for sure. Patricia Ivory says, you say one thing, but I'm hearing a lot more, and I'm originally from Florida. All right. Patricia Ivory says, Tom, I've heard that a lot of peoples are leaving in Florida, which I know for a fact they are. Yeah, well, you have a scenario here where, kind of like what happened in New York City, where locals, original Floridians, particularly in Miami-Dade County, are being pushed out because prices have gone up so much. And that is unfortunate. So you do have kind of this exodus from South Florida. And maybe you could call it gentrification, kind of comparing it to what happened in New York City, particularly in parts of Brooklyn, like Williamsburg, Greenpoint, Brooklyn. Those neighborhoods used to be not so nice. And now, there's some of the nicest neighborhoods in all New York City and the most expensive. So what you're really seeing, unfortunately so, in South Florida, particularly with all of these trophy projects that are going up, like the Turnberry Ocean Club, the St. Regis, Bentley, Porsche Design, Aston Martin Residences, which is right here, the brand new Mandarin Oriental Residences, which is going to be built. They're selling pretty well, so the demand is there, which is, inflating prices, because that affects comps. Even for, a studio apartment, if you want to rent something in downtown Miami, that's going to be pretty nice. You're talking over $2,000 a month. But I will say this, the market is cooling, and it's cooling substantially. It's not the craziness that you saw in 2021. So I think prices are going to cool here a little bit. I think you're going to have a pullback in Miami. But I would buy that dip. But you're correct. You are correct. Patricia Ivory says, you're right. They say it's too expensive now. And to Patricia's point, even since I've been in South Florida, which is just a little bit before the pandemic, I can notice the prices, okay? Thankfully I own my place here, so I was able to capitalize on some of the appreciation of my property. So it's not like my landlord raised my rent. So I was kind of insulated there, and I rent out my property, and it's pretty much always full. Things have gotten expensive, particularly food. Jeff W277 is here. Oops, my chat just went out. Let me try to get it back. That's strange. Let me try one thing. Oh, got it back. Sorry about that. Jeff W277 says, Tom, the Turnberry Ocean Club isn't new. Unless there are two Turnberries, it's like over 30 years old. It completed construction in 2019, I believe. So there's a brand new one, which is the Turnberry Ocean Club Residences, which is built right next to the Porsche Design Tower. That's one of the most expensive and sought after buildings in Sunny Isles Beach. The older Turnberry Ocean Club is a little bit further south, more towards the Ritz-Carlton Residences, which is the last building, I should say second to last building, before you hit Hallover. But the Turnberry Ocean Club and Residences, I believe was either completed construction in 2019 or 2020, and that's almost a complete sellout too. There's a few sponsor units left, and those have sold really, really well. Really well. Hey, Professor Dario, good to see you. Welcome back to Miami. We are now at the Icon Marina, looking at some of the boats here, overlooking Brickell Key and Brickell. We're now going to go up and walk across the Brickell Bridge, and hopefully the lights are still on at the Aston Martin Residences. But it's good to be back in Miami. I'm happy to be back. New England Crypto, what is going on? Joseph Hardaway, welcome. Brad's Brains as well. We were right about Tesla, my friend. Unfortunately, I didn't get my December 300 calls on Friday. Yeah, you know, and usually I don't like to bottom pick, but if you guys read the newsletter 2 weeks ago, we published a bull thesis on Tesla. If you want to read that bull thesis, you can go ahead and scan the QR code on your screen and punch in your email, and it'll take you right to the article. Now, Tesla, I think since we've published that piece, or since we've been talking about it, is up almost like 35–40%. I really do believe that, again, I don't like to call bottoms, but if I had to, the bottom is in for Tesla. You had another really, really good day in price action on the stock. It was up 10% today alone with thunder volume. That's what you want to see. When you have a stock that rebounds after this waterfall type capitulation, on the up days, you want to see these snapback rallies that are ferocious with crazy volume coming in. And that's exactly what you saw with Tesla. And, you know, some stocks have a familiar way that they trade. You know, if you go back to since Tesla IPO'd, it tends to have very, very similar corrections in both, number one, price and both duration. So you have duration corrections, which is essentially time, and then you have corrections in terms of price. So if you look at the earnings estimates for full fiscal year 2024 and looking out to 2025, we did a total breakdown. Again, scan the QR code right here, punch in your email, and we kind of covered that in the newsletter. By the way, we will be sending out our next issue of the Behind the Street newsletter on Thursday, so feel free to go ahead and grab that. Now, last thing I'll say about Tesla is usually every bull cycle in Tesla is driven by a specific catalyst. I think this catalyst will be the autonomous driving and AI. Head over to x.com or Twitter. I still call it Twitter, but head over to x.com and look at the most recent post that Elon Musk put out about self-driving. It's unbelievable to watch this vehicle navigate itself and drive itself, and it's only going to get better. Tesla by far is the auto OEM that has the most data. It is so ahead of all of the other auto OEMs out there in terms of data collection. So I mean, forget about the EV play, just talk about the big data play at Tesla. It's going to be massive. So I think there's some interesting things there. Additionally, if you haven't already, in New York City, right on Park Avenue, the office actually isn't too far away from where we start our New York City live streams. The name of the firm is called Barron Capital, and the CEO and founder of Barron Capital is Ron Barron. He's arguably one of the greatest growth stock investors of all time. I want you to go ahead and go to their website and scroll down to their investor relations page and watch their most recent investor day, where he gave a detailed thesis for both Tesla, SpaceX, and Neuralink. Now, granted, Ron Barron is one of the largest investors in Tesla and has been in it pretty much since day one. Let me see if I can, since I have my other phone, let me see if I can put it in the chat. Let me see, hold on 1 second. I'm gonna get this for you guys. Hey, Jimmy B, what's up? Always a pleasure to see you. We're now standing outside of the JW Marriott. Hey, I see Surf's Flat Trader. Yeah, he is the biggest Tesla bull ever for sure. Solo 401, what's up? Oh, that's right. Yeah, Canada Day was yesterday. So happy Canada Day to all of our Canadian viewers. There's a lot of Canadians here in South Florida. I see a lot of Ontario license plates here. Quebec. Look at this view of the Miami Tower. Beautiful. Okay, here it is. Sorry, everybody. So if you navigate here, Barron Investment Conference, the 30th Annual Barron Investment Conference. The highlight of the theme was called Own It, and you could watch the video right here. So just navigate to it and check it out. Unbelievable. Definitely need to watch it. I think it took place at Lincoln Center, and they had a Cybertruck in the main fountain in Lincoln Center. But if you're interested in investing, that is like a master class. That keynote speech, the investor day for the Barron funds. Unbelievable. Let me see if I can post the link in the chat. Ron Barron, Own It. Okay, I got it. Let me see if I can do this here. Because this is a very, very important piece of info I think you guys will enjoy. I'm not logged into YouTube here. That's okay. I think you guys can figure it out. We're now walking over the Brickell Bridge. At least it's not too windy. This is a bird's eye view of where we just were. This is the Epic Marina. Hey, what's up, Chris? Good to see you. Sean Connolly says, do you think you could live in Miami off of $10,000 a month income? Of course. I think that's like almost triple the average income or the median income, or double the average income. $10,000 a month is a lot of money. It's a lot of money, my friend. Now, are you going to be living at the top of the Aston Martin Tower? No. But you could have a modest studio apartment and enjoy yourself on 10 grand a month for sure. You could do that in any city. Brad's brains, his Kava is really struggling with that $100 range. Yeah, it's a newer issue, it's a newer IPO. there's a lot of stock coming on the market. Here's a better view. It looks like they turned off the lights, unfortunately. It would have been cool to see. There's a beautiful view from up here. It's like a very futuristic city. Now, we've officially crossed over from downtown Miami to Brickell, which is the financial district. You see Bank of America Tower in the distance. A little bit further down Brickell Avenue is going to be the brand new Citadel Securities building. And we just have a little bit of breaking news, not too breaking, but within the past 2 weeks, Jamie Dimon of JP Morgan Chase announced that they're expanding their footprint to South Florida. They're going to have more employees in the Brickell neighborhood, and they just signed a big lease down here. So you do see the job growth in the financial sector really coming to fruition. And that's going to be the one key factor to see if all of this momentum in Miami can continue. It's going to be the job growth. And I'd just like to note one thing. I mentioned at the beginning of the live stream, I filmed a walking tour of Brickell Key to check out the construction site of the brand new Mandarin Oriental residences. And I noticed something. This was probably around 6:30 at night, maybe 6:37. And the amount of young people, okay, I'm talking about, I mean, they must have been, you know, as young as 17 all the way to probably about 30, maybe 35. Outside at 6:30 at night, running through Brickell, running around that loop on Brickell Key. It was like a traffic jam of younger people. It was crazy, and all wearing, you know, corporate t-shirts. Probably they have internships down here. You never really used to see a lot of that before. At least not since I've been down here, which was like, you know, I started to really spend a lot of time down here, I'd say 2015 on. That is huge. That is huge. You need a younger demographic to anchor themselves here, feel like they can build a career, feel like they can build a life, you know, buy property, raise a family. They need to feel like they can do that. And there was a ton of people out and about, particularly young people today, and you'll see that on the video. So it's definitely important to watch that trend. Here we are at the main entrance of the Icon Brickell and the W Hotel and Residences. We haven't been inside here in a long time on the other side of the Riverwalk, so we might as well check it out tonight. We usually just automatically go directly into Mary Brickell Village, but you can kind of notice some of the faces on the columns here, which is interesting. If you look closely, again, you see the beautiful City National Bank Tower, or the Miami Tower, and these columns, you can see faces in them. It's pretty cool. Mark Summers says Miami is growing on us solely because of your streams. And here's the thing. We only explore a very small portion of Miami on the live streams. We only ever really walk around Brickell. We only ever really walk around downtown Miami, and we only ever really walk around South Beach. There's Sunny Isles Beach, there's Coral Gables, there's Wynwood. There's just so much to see. It's just very difficult to do, you know, your traditional live stream in those places, just because the internet's not really good, to be honest, over there. So I try to get as much standalone footage as possible of places like Wynwood, the Design District. I'm going to be there tomorrow. I mean, if you guys haven't seen Miami's Design District, I mean, prepare to get your face just totally blown off because it's so gorgeous. It's just going to explode your skull. Unbelievable what they did there. Now, we'll kind of tie this into the financial markets, because if you think about Bernard Arnault, LVMH, the real estate play that Bernard Arnault did when he purchased not only the main Tiffany building at 57th Street and 5th Avenue, but he also made huge acquisitions in real estate all throughout Miami, all throughout the design district. You'll see the LVMH main area there. It's incredible. It's really incredible. So read that cover story maybe about 2 or 3 weeks ago on the front page of the Exchange Saturday edition of the Wall Street Journal. Just an unbelievable vision to be able to acquire that real estate in the design district, really make it what it is now. It's incredible. So there's a lot of good things happening in Miami. It may get a little bit ahead of itself, just like in every bull cycle it does. But I think the long-term trajectory is still there. Yeah, there's going to be bear markets. There'll probably be price declines. But we just need a big catalyst for that. And I think, you know, knock on wood, hopefully it doesn't happen. But I think the catalyst could potentially be a worse hurricane season than we've had historically in South Florida. There are some concerning things that I'm seeing, particularly if you've been paying attention to the weather forecasts. All of the experts, all the meteorologists are predicting the worst hurricane season on record. The worst hurricane season on record, not only for Florida, but for Texas, all of South America. And I think right now, correct me if I'm wrong, it is the earliest Category 5 hurricane developing right now. So hopefully that doesn't make land in the United States. I don't think it will. I think it's hitting Jamaica as we speak. But it only takes one really big hurricane to kind of scare people off for a little bit. And I mean, knock on wood, please God, hopefully we don't have a big hurricane here. But I think we're kind of overdue for one. I mean, the last massive hurricane that South Florida had, I think, was Andrew. I think that was the worst one, and that may have been in 1995. But anyway, I digress. So now we are at the Miami Riverwalk. This is maybe a more unique view of the Aston Martin residences from the other side of the river. It's quite nice. Hey, Karina Thompson is joining us. Hey, Karina. So peaceful here. So for some context, we started off the stream standing right here. So we walked over the bridge. On the other side, and that is Brickell Key. Ah, Jeff W277. It was in 1991. Got it. So look, I think the infrastructure is obviously a little bit better down here, but at the end of the day, it's all about perception. And if somebody moves here from the Midwest, right? I mean, think about this. If somebody moves here from the Midwest or from New York or from California, they're not seasoned in dealing with hurricanes like the original Miamians are. It only takes one super scary storm to say, all right, I'm out. And that's true. Trust me, that is true. That does have an impact. So, Robert Brunn says Andrew made 150,000 people homeless. It's terrible, terrible, terrible. George says, read my mind, Tom. Andrew was very devastating for Florida and Texas. Katrina was also a bad one. Yeah, Hurricane Katrina was horrible. Horrible, horrible. Ed Dunkel says Andrew improved the building codes at least. That's true. That's a good point. I mean, obviously the infrastructure is more prepared for it. When I drive up and down Biscayne Boulevard, and Collins Avenue, in most places, what I notice is all of the telephone poles are concrete. It's not like the suburbs in New York where it's, you know, wood. So I'm assuming that can withstand hurricane force winds if we get a massive storm, but you never know. Look at this boat pulling up here. Ah, guys, you're in for a treat. Check this out. They finally turned on the big floodlights at the top of the Aston Martin Tower. What do you guys think? I don't know what the purpose is. Now, could you imagine standing on Fisher Island or standing right at South Point Park at the South of It neighborhood in South Beach? You could probably see this from there. That must look insane. I don't know, like, what's the purpose? I mean, it looks cool, but maybe it's just like, I don't know. Anyway. I wish we could get a drone shot of that. But, you know, kind of taking it back to the financial markets, one of the things I think we need to be on the lookout, kind of like what we wrote about in the newsletter, is that rotation, perhaps back into enterprise software and SaaS. So pay very close attention, because some of those names that we used to talk about a lot that were engaged during 2021, they've now built almost 3-year bases now, if you think about it. Some of them are trading near their 52-week highs. Some of them are trading near their new all-time record highs. And potentially, we'll have this cooling off period out of the semiconductors, right? All those big, you know, turbocharged TMLs, and potentially a rotation into some of the SaaS enterprise software like Datadog. I think Netflix will start to see some more love. Tesla, I think, is going to be the leader. And when you think about the weighting of the S&P 500, I've said this before, if you go to slickcharts.com, it'll give you the weighting by breakdown. I think you'll probably see Tesla move up a few ranks as this stock gains momentum and bottom. So potentially, maybe we could have a little bit of an isolated summer doldrums. Maybe the index overall won't drop that much. Maybe some of the individual names will. And we'll have this sector rotation back into the beaten down SaaS and enterprise software. Who knows? We'll see. We'll keep an eye on it. The Investigator. What's up? Welcome. All right, let's head up and around. We'll check out some of the restaurants all along the Riverwalk. Maybe they turn the lights on every 15 minutes. They turn them off again. Oh, maybe it's has something to do with the helicopter pad. I think you can land a helicopter on the roof of there. J Family says you're like an IBM for the rotation. Let's check it out. Yeah, I mean, for surprisingly, IBM, I'm not logged into my trading view. That's such a pain in the ass. Let me see if I can log in real quick. All right, we're in gear. We are in gear, team. All right, we'll go through, we'll check Tesla, and then we'll check IBM. So look, this is exactly what you want to see at a bottom. Okay, you see these big green skyscrapers worth of volume. That's two things. That's shorts getting absolutely blown out. I mean, shorts are getting destroyed. And that's huge buy-side volume coming in. Massive. And again, if you go back, not to sound like a broken record, but if you go back to the newsletter and read kind of what we were covering about price and time duration of the correction, Tesla's average correction in terms of duration is roughly 950 days. From all-time record high to correct and go back to all-time record high. I think the largest correction in terms of duration was around 1,050 days. And the deepest correction in terms of price is right around 70%. So this isn't out of the ordinary for this stock. What I believe, right, thinking like an analyst, I believe all of the price cuts and the margin compression is totally priced into the stock. If you look at the estimates for 2024 and 2025, I think it's plus 20 for the fiscal year 24, and then with an additional maybe 15 on the back end for 2025 with margin expansion. It's quite possible that over the next year, you're going to see a new all-time record high with Tesla. Let's check IBM, because I actually think that may be at a 52-week high too. Let me see. There was one other one that I wanted to talk about. Yeah, look at that. Interesting. I got to look at the earnings and the sales power here at IBM. I'll see if it has the double-digit and triple-digit. It definitely doesn't have the triple-digit or the double-digit revenue growth. I would highly, highly doubt that. But we'll keep an eye on it. We'll definitely keep an eye on it. It looks like a big cup pattern, but we'll see. This is a really, really pretty restaurant. It has both indoor and kind of this exposed outdoor dining with a really nice view of the Mandarin Oriental. For those of you who are just joining, this building right here is the Mandarin Oriental Hotel. That opened in the year 2000, and they're going to take it down. They're actually going to demolish that building. But first, the lot right behind the Mandarin Oriental, they're going to build two towers, one of which is going to be the residences, which is going to be 850 feet tall. I mean, could you imagine what that's going to look like? I mean, it's just going to, I don't know if that's lightning or what, but 850 feet is going to look ridiculous built on Brickell Key. I mean, it's really going to look crazy. And then there's going to be a smaller tower, which is going to be the hotel. Once that's built, it should be complete in 2029. Then they're going to take this building down. I don't know what they're going to do with it, but you could potentially see a futuristic Brickell Key. So the duplex that's going to sit at the very, very top of the new Mandarin Oriental residences, Swire Properties is allegedly marketing it at $100 million for the top floor duplex. I don't know if they're going to command $100 million. That's like New York City pricing, but we'll see. We'll definitely have to see. What do you guys think about the outdoor dining setup here? It's like it flows very nicely, indoor and out. And this will wrap around all the way down, which is just recently opened too. It doesn't look like there's a seat available. I know, for a Tuesday night in Miami in June, well now July, it's July, what, 2nd? That's pretty impressive. This is usually the off season in Miami. And as I've said before, this is something that I'm seeing. People staying in Miami longer now, as opposed to just the original snowbirds that come during the winter, and then in the summer, Miami is usually dead. But today and tonight, some of the restaurants, Miami's rocking. Crazy to see. This is all brand new elevated seawall here. This used to be totally closed off for the construction, but they've elevated the seawall to prevent flooding. It's really low tide. You can see the rocks there. And during the day, this is a really nice kind of, I wouldn't say like a food fair, but there's like a lot of food trucks, little coffee carts. It's pretty cool. Brad's Brain says IBM beat 4 quarters in a row. I'm gonna have to add that one to the list. Now, you know what's a company that kind of is an old legacy company, which is now at the forefront of AI? It's Dell. It's Dell Computer. So it's going to be interesting to see. If you have a Twitter account or an X account, Michael Dell is a fantastic follow. He oftentimes gives insights on what he thinks about, you know, the market, what they're working on at Dell. So check it out. Oftentimes on our New York City live streams, you could see his apartment. He has the duplex on the 89th and the 90th floor of 157. DA says, Tom, is your house currently rented? It is. It is currently rented. All right, now let's make a right. And we'll now check out Brickell Village. That big building you see in the distance is currently the tallest building in Miami. That's the Panorama Tower. New England Cryptos has had his Intel look. They're stepping up their game. They have GPUs out now as well. I have a lot of people that I know a lot of people that I respect highly that are not fans of Intel. Ticker symbol INTC. Let's see where it's trading. But Intel has had like zero innovation. Yeah, as I suspected. Look at this. INTC. Trading at pretty much 52-week lows and pandemic lows, retesting the pandemic lows. Garbage. Now, again, I don't know, I'm not so in tune and keen into the fundamentals, but some fund managers that I know say that that management totally destroyed the company at Intel. There's zero innovation. They totally botched research and development. They just padded corporate compensation. And, you know, the stock price tells you a lot about the fundamentals of the company, right? Compare the chart of Intel to like an AMD or, you know, Supermicro or an NVIDIA, right? It's kind of a much telling story. But, hey, maybe there's a turnaround story there. I don't know, but I wouldn't touch it at this moment. But, you know, if you have an edge and you know something, by all means. All right, everyone, this is the main bridge taking you over to Brickell Key. We won't go over the bridge tonight. Maybe we'll go halfway. We'll go halfway just so you could see the view from the bridge. It's a pretty incredible view. Wow, that was a pretty incredible lightning strike. But you'll be able to see the Aston Martin residences. Maybe they'll turn back on the light. We'll see. Oh, they did. Nice. You know, it almost kind of looks like the 9/11 memorial floodlights, doesn't it? Look at that. So here's a further away view of the Aston Martin Tower. Look at that beam going all the way up. Let me see if the wide angle lens will be better. We'll give it a try. Yeah, you can't really see too much. We'll go over a little bit more to see a little bit better view. But if you guys are enjoying the live stream so far tonight, feel free to leave a like on the video. Oops, let me reorient that. All right, that should be better. And click the subscribe button if you're new. We do these live streams almost every day, starting at 8:45, and we have a beautiful heat lightning storm right above the Mandarin Oriental. All right, I think this is going to be the best view of the night. They just turned it off. Still a pretty gorgeous view though, would you say? Man, it's so beautiful here, it's unreal. We'll go a little bit further just to show you guys. Whoa, that was a big strike. I think it said it was 94 degrees today with full blast humidity. And now that the sun is set, it feels really, really nice. Jeff W277 says 20 years ago, if you said AMD was better than Intel, people would laugh in your face, for sure. And that's another thing people tend to forget, and I tend to forget too. AMD and Nvidia are old companies. They are not new companies. And Nvidia almost went bust multiple times. So it's right place at the right time. With one of the best leaders, one of the best CEOs of all time, Jensen. Wow, guys, look at that. Hey, what's up, Alec? This is such a beautiful city. Says, hey Tom, do you believe Bitcoin will hit $100,000 by year end? I have no idea. I have no idea. But I can tell you I'm long Bitcoin. I have a lot of it. That's the only thing I could say in disclosure. But the measured move on the breakout over 70 is that number. But I don't like saying it's going to reach this point at this time, because then people tend to just buy because I say like, oh, I recommended it. But I'm bullish. I'm bullish on it. You know, this year, assuming, you know, we still have a full half of the year to go, but Q1 and Q2 of 2024 was one of the best starts for the S&P 500 during an election year ever. So US equities have performed really, really well this year. Risk assets in general perform really, really well. But Bitcoin is running into a lot of resistance here. We briefly traded down to 58. We tried to rally back up to 62, 64. So we'll see. It's had a wild run, you know. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Since we're here, I want to show you the construction site of the new tower. Might as well. So right in front of us is the Mandarin Oriental. And if you look just off to the left, you're going to see the kind of the outdoor dining section of the restaurant of the hotel. There's no people here now, but during the day it's pretty filled. And you have these beautiful balconies. So could you imagine staying here, watching the sunset over Miami? And this is pretty much your entire view, all of Brickell. Hey, Joel PM, what's up? Yeah, we were just having a little bit of a conversation about Tesla. Tesla was up 10% today alone. And we've been having conversations on the stream, many of you and myself. We were like, look, we think Tesla probably bottomed in April. And I think that's the case still. Wow, look at that. Beautiful seating area here. I think if you're watching this broadcast and you haven't been to Miami, I really think you gotta go. It's just, when you come here, I think you're gonna fall in love with the city. It's that fantastic here. Let's see if we could see like a tarpon jumping out of the water. Chris says, Tom, are there a lot of international buyers in Miami? I would say it's seasonal for sure. It really depends. There's a lot of buyers right now from Brazil, particularly on Fisher Island. Lots of Brazilian buyers on Fisher. Look at how cool that is. Nice dining area. Sometimes you can see things jumping in and out of the water. There was this crazy video that was going around the other day of this massive hammerhead shark catching this huge tarpon right off the coast of Bal Harbor, like right off the beach. It's pretty cool. If you go to Twitter or X, you can see it. Now, the water down here is like bath water. It's almost like, I don't want to say it's uncomfortable to go in, but during the summer, you know, you want to jump in the ocean to cool off. the water's kind of hot. Like, it's legit warm water down here in the summer. It doesn't really cool you off that much. It gets a little bit better, obviously, during the winter, but right now, if you come to Miami and you go in the water, Miami Beach, it's like lukewarm bath water. It's like a weird feeling. It's crazy. It's nice, but you know, when it's 96 degrees out and full bang humidity, you know, you kind of want something that's going to cool you off. All right, everyone, so we are now, ooh, I think that was a tarpon right here. Ooh, it is a family of tarpons. You can see them. Well, hopefully you can see them. Yeah, they're attracted to the light here. Let's see if we can see some more swimming up. There's one right here. Maybe he'll come back. But we're about to see the construction site of the new Mandarin Oriental residences. I think sales start at 4.9 million for the pre-sale. Ooh, that was a pretty cool lightning strike too. We actually have a pretty crazy heat lightning storm going on over there. Let's see if we can see a few more strikes. Wow. Could you imagine living in one of these condos facing, which way is this? This is east. That's facing Miami Beach. You could sit out on your balcony all night and watch these crazy heat lightning storms. That's awesome. All right, let's take one more look at the tarpon. That's a huge tarpon, man. Those are big. You know, a few years ago we used to see a lot of dolphins. Unfortunately, we don't see a lot anymore. What's up, Cosmo? We're trying to see if we can spot some dolphins or tarpon in the water from Brickell Key. Wow, those are big. What would you say? Those are probably, you think those are over 20 pounds? Probably. Anyway, all right, one more look at the skyline of Brickell, and let's start to head back off the island of Brickell Key. Well, there's a good look at him. Ooh, he's coming up all the way to the surface. Wonder why they do that. Wow. Peaceful here. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. Let's head back off of Brickell Key and back to Brickell. Hey, Gabriel, so shout out to Brazil. What's up? We were just talking about Brazilian buyers on Fisher Island. So once again, this is going to be the construction site for Squire Properties on the brand new Mandarin Oriental residences. Once this is built, this tower is going to be 850 feet tall, and then this is going to be torn down. So the hotel was built and opened in the year 2000. It's coming down. Once that one is built in 2029, should be ready for occupancy. We'll get off the seawall so we don't fall in. Ibrahim Azam, what's up? And it looks like they just turned back on the main lights on top of the Aston Martin Tower. Let's see if I can. So they just turned back on those big beams. Again, it reminds me of the 9/11 memorial lights. Oh, just turned it off. That's all right. Hey, what's up, David? Good to see you as always. All right, what do you guys think in the chat? Thumbs up or thumbs down on Brickell Key? I know it's very quiet, but you got to picture yourself living here. Sometimes you don't want to live on top of all the crazy noise. You want to be close enough to all the party action, but be able just to have a quick walk or a taxi ride back to your apartment where it's going to be relatively quiet. Hey, Boomer Bob, Joseph Hardaway, what's up? And this path goes around the entire island. Obviously, that little section is closed because of the construction, but if we continue on this path, it'll go all the way around the island. Okay, let's make our journey back. You want to know my one critique? If I had to be critical of Brickell Key, here's what it would be. Or I'll make a suggestion. We'll reframe it from a critique to a suggestion. You gotta put a Metro Mover station on Brickell Key. And I think it's doable because you have the Brickell City Center Metro Mover station. Just make a big arc that drops you off right here. Could you imagine how popular that would be? So that's my one critique. Just needs public transportation. Look at that massive plane taking off. Hey, Dutchman. Good to see you. Oh my God, Nina, you have AAA fixing your tire right now? Jeez. Hopefully they can rectify that situation fast and get you on your way. Yeah, Mr. Griff 305 says, I think they like it quiet. Yeah, I think, you know, people probably that live on Brickell Key they don't really want a lot of traffic on the island. But I will say this. I was here today shooting a standalone video about the construction site, and the amount of young people jogging, biking, walking their dogs on Brickell Key, it was like, it felt crowded. Let's just say that. And this is off season in Miami. So it's good news for the growth of the city. Now tomorrow on the live stream, we're going to be talking about the Institute for Supply Management